So, hello everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. This one's going to be definitely different from the normal kind of thing or content that I deliver. There's been something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. Probably around the same time, or a little bit after I got into ASMR. And I've never gotten around to it before. But I thought that if I was going to finally do that, I might as well integrate it into a video. Because there's so many things I could do with it. And I think you guys will probably, really enjoy it as well. For a very long time, I have been wanting to start practicing the Japanese language. I'm currently taking Spanish in college, but I didn't really want to. I only took it because it would be easier, and I didn't want to overload myself in my classes. I didn't want it to be miserable. It's something that I'd rather learn in my own time. But I've gone to a free website, actually. It's conspicuously named freejapaneselessons.com. And I'm going to be using that website to help me along. And it's important to remember, well, I would like you to remember, if you wouldn't mind, that I do not speak Japanese. I'm learning, and I'm pretty much just using this as practice, and filming it so that you guys can see what I'm practicing. If you're interested in it, you might, of course, pick some things up as well, even though they could be like horribly wrongly pronounced or something. They probably will be. So I definitely will pronounce a lot of things. I'm gonna butcher the language, and I apologize in advance for that. But yeah. This, make sure I have that right. I do. The Japanese language in Japan, in Japanese, is called Nihongo. Again, I am pronouncing that with an American accent, but Nihongo sounds kind of cool. And yeah, the first thing that I was looking up was about the alphabet that's used in Japan. And interestingly enough, the Japanese alphabet is not the same, or it's not a similar style to the English alphabet or the Spanish alphabet or anything like that. I know the characters are different, obviously, but it's different too in that in Spanish and English, you have a certain alphabet, like you have A, B, C, and all that, the basic alphabet, and that's all that you have. In Japan, that's very different. Because in Japan, which I'm not sure why that is yet, but that's what I know so far. And I believe there's another one, another character set that is only for translation, like only used for translating to other languages because they simply didn't have the right type of sound for a direct translation otherwise in the Nihongo language. So that's the background behind the alphabet here. Hiragana is the one that we are going to be going over today, I believe. I'll double check that. Got the katakana and the kanji, but the one that we are interested in for today is the hiragana. 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 And then Nihongo. 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 Hiragana. Nihongo. There are 5 different vowels used in the Japanese language. A is said like ah, A, H, H. Like if you just took a really nice swig of tea, depending on where you live, I guess. I is pronounced E, like an eat. E, like an eat. U is pronounced like oo, which is the same as in the Spanish language. It's pronounced ooh, as in soon, or if you're in school and somebody burns somebody, they go ooh. E as in elk, so simply eh, eh. These are very similar to the way that the vowels are spoken in the English language. Eh. And then O, which is pronounced O. O-H, just that, simply. So, for further reference, A is like ah. I is like eat, with the E here stressed. Obviously this one. O as in just O, very simply. E as in eat. Oops, wait, that's wrong. I'm sorry. That was the I. E as in elk. So eh. And then there's U, just pronounced like ooh and soon. Ooh. So it's ah, E, O, eh, ooh. Actually, let's do it in a different order. Let's go with E. Ooh. Oh. In that order. Okay, so these are the singular, just the vowels with no other sound associated with them. So for the A, looks like I go down here like that, and then straight across at the top, and then start down here, or right here, and go like, and then intersect right here. That actually looks a lot better than I thought it would. But if there's actually any Japanese person who watches this, you'll probably think I'm absolutely crazy and atrocious at this, but that's the way it looks right side up. The next is E, or yes, is E, which is the I. I'm spoken in English. This one is like a candy cane. I'm gonna have so many kid-like references in here, I bet. A candy cane and a comma up here, kind of. I probably butchered it as well, but that's okay. The U is like this, with a little slant line above it. Let me draw some lines here to separate them so that it doesn't get confusing. The E is a little more complicated. It's kind of like a K, but different. Something like that, then like this. So, go like this. And then this little symbol at the top here. It might be hard for you to see because I am doing it like sideways, but I could not get a good camera arrangement right now that allowed me to do it right in front of me because my desk is too small for it, frankly. So this will have to do for just the time being. Okay, so after that we've got the O, which is going to come down here, it's going to loop, and then have a bigger loop on this side, and then a D mark right here, and then a little slash right there. I think the O might be the best one that I've done so far. All these. And here are those completed vowels. As atrocious as they might be. On the A, this part's actually supposed to be connected. I didn't mean to do that. And then this little, I don't know what I'd compare that to. I think I used a candy cane. You can look up the symbols if you are interested in learning these, because online, of course, the symbols will be perfectly done. U, E, and I'm looking at the screen right now to compare what I drew to my diagram that I'm looking at, and it's pretty use just the vowels, but that is the first part of the Hiragana. 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 Those are the vowels. Now after that, got more sets of letters. And these are kind of systematic, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. But for our first set, I'm actually going to draw the symbols first, and then after I draw them, I'll go ahead and write what they are so that I can kind of save space here. I'm not an artist by any means. I should probably make them a bit bigger. This is ka. Ka. I know to say ah because in the pronunciation up here, the A is pronounced like ah. So that is ka, and then we have another symbol that goes down here and does a bigger loop than some of the other symbols, and then has two lines that go straight through it. Oh, I completely butchered that one. But this one is ki. Ka. Ka. And ki. And then a rather easy symbol is this this one, and this one is ku. Ka, ki, and ku. And then this one right here is ke. Remember, the vowel E is pronounced like an elk, so it's an eh. That is why this is ki and this is ke, not k, not ki, but ke, ke. And the last one in this row is this completely butchered symbol, and it is go. Now O is as in O, pretty easy one to remember, so that's why this one is said go. These symbols don't look as bad on the screen as they do on the paper for some reason. So we have ka, ki, ku, ke, and go. And that is one line that we have, or one row. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute here. set as well, but I'm talking about the ka, ki, ku, ke, and ko, as compared to ka, ki, gu, ge, and go. As far as I see, they do follow a similar vowel structure pretty much the whole way through, because each line has a letter and then an A on the first one. First either row or column, I can't remember right now, I think it's column. And yeah, so they do follow a similar pattern. And as you can see here, the ka and the ga are very similar, except the ga has an extra little 2 hash marks that go up here. And if you look at the rest, it's like that each time. This one has the same kind of hash mark pattern, as well as gu and gu. And it's like that in these other ones as well. They both have pretty much the same structure, except for these little 2 hash marks at the top here. And I haven't studied this, I just noticed that as I was going along. So I'm sure there will be things that I could notice that I've missed, so if that turns out to be the case, please feel free to point it out to me in the comment section. Because even though I don't know this stuff, and I know I'll probably look pretty retarded by trying to teach it, even though I'm learning it myself, I'd still like to be accurate. At least as accurate as I can be. So, this is the S's, and we have sa, si. Oh, I'm sorry. This is actually going to be an H, and this is going to be she. Sa, she. We have a little loop on this character right here, and then a shape like a T. That is Su. And then we have Se. Se. This one is interesting. Like that. Se. And this one is also interesting. It's very artistic though. It's very, very artistic. It's almost like a form of calligraphy, which it might actually be considered that. So the S's, and I did kind of yeah. S or sa, she, su, se, and so. That completes that line. I imagine it will take me a whole lot of practice before I'm able to memorize these, all of these symbols. But luckily I am pretty excited about doing this actually. these are very close together. And the language, I think, is just, I think it's beautiful. I absolutely love the way the Japanese language sounds in practice when it's spoken fluently by a native speaker. And that's part of what contributes to wanting to do this. So these are the Z's, and we've got Sa, Ji, Zo, Ze, and So. I kind of made it very short here. Looks like a 2. Now, notice as well that I won't make symbols, but this and this follow the same pattern as this, and that they are the same symbols, except the bottom row has these little hashtag marks. And it's the same thing with these. They may not look like the same symbols because of my legendary artistic skills. Oops. This is why I double check. But I promise you that they are supposed to be the same symbols. That's cool. I think that they follow that pattern. See how many more. Okay. We should be able to do all of these. Okay. Let's get on with the tasks. This one's kind of interesting. This ta. She. No chi. Ta. Chi. So, I don't know how to pronounce that yet. Te. And do. Ta. Chi. So. De. Do. The bottom of this line is not supposed to go past this point right here. Da, chi, tsu, tsu, de, do. And it looks like we are going to be continuing the same kind of pattern that we started out doing. This da. As you can see, there are two G's, which is interesting. We have so, which we also have two of. De. Do. This line is da, ji, su, de, do. And once again, we do follow the same rule here, where the next line I had this one right the first time. Sorry about that, guys. This is not supposed to be there. I guess I saw the same symbol and thought that you were supposed to do that. Let me write that again. So as not to confuse anybody who comes in late. So G is like a 5 and wraps around and comes across like this. Okay, so the G is just going to be very small from now on. Here's a better picture of that. And we follow the same rule, which is adding the slash marks in these ones, as you can see. And that's actually a lot that we've done so far. We've gotten down to da. Let us continue on the opposite side here. Next we have, let me do a little barrier here, so as not to confuse myself or you. Make sure I'm on the right one. Okay. Next we have this one's interesting. We have na. Ni. Oh my God. I'm just going to go ahead and apologize in advance for the way that this is going to look. This is new. If it was drawn correctly, it would be new. This is ne. And no. That line is na, ni, which is a sideways smiley face. It kind of looks like no, ne, and no. this line we have ha, he, fu, he, and ho. I noticed that here is the second repeat, like it's repeating from this one, except with the hash marks. And if you look up here, we start at na and then ha, and for some reason the na line right here does not have repeated symbols with the hash marks. It could be that I just haven't gotten to that that repeat yet, but I do find that a bit interesting that it seemed to have skipped one, and it doesn't look like I've missed one, so it must have really skipped it. And now we're going to go to the B's. We are getting kind of near the end here of the first of the Hiragana. In this one, ba, B, boo, be, and bow. There we have ba, B, boo, be, and bow. On the next line, pa, p, boo, be, and bow. On this, it is kind of interesting because starting with the H's with ha, he, fu, he, and o, you at first with the B's have the normal secondary category where they have these little hash marks to tell apart the two kinds. But when it comes to the B's, you repeat face of them. That is kind of strange. I don't know why they would do that. Now, let's move on. We're starting to get in some characters that skip some of the columns for one reason or another. I don't know why. It'll be interesting to look back at this recording and see if you might be able to hear what I'm doing on the paper. I don't think you will be able to, though. Alright, this one's... No. Meh. And mo. It's ma, me, mo, ne, and mo. Now we will start a third row. This is ya. I will have to skip a space here. This is you. And yo. Ya. Yo. And yo. There's not supposed to be a mark right here. That was just a mistake that I made when writing it. Next. Ra. Re. /m means. But I'm not going to sweat it since that is the only one. Now, there are some exceptions to how you would pronounce these, but I'm not going to get into pronunciation because I have no idea about pronunciation past the vowel rules. There are also some combinations, like there are some ways that you could put together certain symbols to make different sounds, and those are actually technically included, I think, in the Hiragana, but I'm not going to be going over those in this video. I'll do that in the next one, most likely. But here's the symbols. As horribly and poorly drawn as they are, here they are. This is going to be a regular thing, in case anybody was wondering, because I do want to learn the language, and this is a great way to practice and learn while also providing you with some relaxation and interesting, I hope, interesting material. So, that is all that I have for you guys tonight. I do hope that you enjoyed this and maybe learned a thing or two, because I am certain